And what is the data source here? It's the sheet 1 for Indian Housing Price Index. That's the sheet 1 that we see here. And what more? Yes, the data source details. Yeah, it's federated type and the sheet. The table is what? Sheet 1. So this is the entire sheet description that will come up for all the sheets that you make. And when you click on the sheet, the described sheet out here in the worksheet menu. You can also duplicate as a cross tab. You can also select for auto update. So you can auto update the worksheet. And why do we do that? Why do we auto update the worksheet? Because supposedly out here, coming back in the data source, if I'm importing this particular sheet again over here, and so we have made all the settings here in terms of the work canvas also. So once you go back to your sheet 1, the changes in the imported sheet that is seen, the changes in the imported sheet 1, they'll be automatically reflected out here in this particular worksheet that we are working on. So that is the reason we select auto updates on, and also auto update filters. So these are the filters that we have here, and they also get auto updated. So that is what we have as far as the worksheets are concerned. And then thereafter, we also have the dashboard out here. So when we select a new dashboard, fine, let's do one thing. And let us be, yeah, and there is one more thing that I want to show you all. Out here, you can see these are the 3 buttons that we are seeing here. When you come on this particular button, it shows you as new worksheet. Plus sign out here indicates that, like, you are adding a new worksheet. So that is one thing. Second thing is this is the dashboard. Yeah, you can see it out here in the bottom. I hope everyone is looking at the cursor. So out here on this particular button, you can see or read it as a new dashboard. And when you come and when you bring your cursor on this particular button, it shows you as a new story. So a new worksheets that we are seeing here, new dashboard and new story. These 3 functions can be executed, options can be executed, the features can be executed from here also. So fine, let us add a new dashboard over here. Okay, so we'll rename this worksheet as what? Right click, rename it as what? Mumbai versus Bangalore. So that is the sheet name that I'm giving here, have given here. On the dashboard one that we have here, let us rename this dashboard also so that it's easier for us to understand it. Right. So now out here we have the dashboard. Now what do we see here? We are seeing only 2 sheets. This Mumbai versus Bangalore sheet and sheet number 2. Now sheet number 2 that we see here, we have done nothing on that really. So even if I delete this sheet, it's fine. Again, when I delete this sheet, it will be deleted here from the dashboard also. Okay, so just pay attention here. I'm clicking left click on the sheet 2, right click on sheet 2, scroll up, click delete. So that sheet is now gone over here. And what do we see here in dashboard? We are not seeing the sheet 2 either. So what happens is anything that you do in sheet that will be reflected in the dashboard, and anything that you do in the dashboard that will be reflected in the storyboard. So typically when you make any changes to the worksheet, they'll be reflected simultaneously in dashboard and storyboard. And anything that you delete from the storyboard, that will get deleted from the dashboard and the worksheets list also. So that is one thing I wanted you all to know and understand. So let's come back on that worksheet itself. Wait. So when I click on the worksheet here, we saw that we can create a new worksheet. We also copied it as an image file, as a data file. You can export it as a data also. Let's click on this and see what it exports. Yeah, see, it exports as what? Microsoft Access Database. That's MDB. So if I come back here on day 2 and I save it as what? By Bangalore. Okay, let's save it. Right, so it is asking what's the table name and all. I'm just setting it as default. So data. Let's go back here, and what do we see here? It's not showed up here yet. Wait. Oh, it's not showing it up here, is it? Aha, now there it is. That's an MDB format that we are looking for. Of course, it takes its time, but then this is the format that we have. Now, we do not have a Microsoft Access database here, so we won't be able to read the contents, but then this is how it should export, as we can see here. You can also clear the sheet. You can also clear the formatting if you conducted any. We have not done any formatting, so there is nothing to delete. But suppose if we select formatting. Okay, so there is no formatting here. So there is no change on the worksheet or the view that we are seeing here. So this is what we have as far as the worksheet is concerned. What more on the worksheet? Yeah, we have covered almost all of these. The run update is just deactivated for now, but once we have a healthy content in the worksheet, then we can also run the update that we have imported. So typically what happens is, as I mentioned it earlier, out here in data source, we are seeing sheet 1. And since the auto update is on, so any changes in the sheet that we import, they'll be reflected over here. And alternately, if you want, you can also come and you can click on the run update. So it will update the changes. And the changes that have been auto updated, they'll be executed and you'll be able to see the changes available. So that is what we had as far as the worksheet is concerned. Now let us click on dashboard. So out here we see like there's a very long list of features here as well. But then for that, prior to that, we need to have some sheets on the dashboard. We have created only one single sheet. So let's do one thing. Let's create another worksheet. I click a new worksheet. That is a new worksheet that we have. And what I'm going to do here is I'm creating some additional data set here. Let's select Bangalore, Delhi. Oh no, let's not take. Okay, fine. We'll take all the Chennai, Kolkata, and Mumbai, of course. Now, why are we doing this? What we are doing? Typically, the objective is for us is to create some kind of a chart so that we can include both those charts in the dashboard one that we have here. So out here we can see the sheet 2 is already being shown. But again, our work here isn't quite finished. So I'm going for quarters. So these are the different cities and the quarter details that we have here. We are seeing all the 4 quarters here. So let's select here and add it as a filter. So when I click on the filter here, when I add it on filter here, it should appear over here. Okay, so I click on filter. So you're selecting all of these. Now we can select them. So I click all and I click apply and I click OK. So again, this filter pops up over here. Now if I select this further here and select it as show filter, then what will happen? This filter will show up over here out in this particular section. So I'm selecting quarter. I scroll down to show filter. And again, once I click on this, on the right side of the screen, you will see a new filter come. So let's select show filter. Right, now that's what we are seeing here. Now, out here we can see all the 4 quarters for starting from which year? From 2010. Yeah, from 2010, 2011 until 2020, 2021. So let's come here. Let's select this. Okay. Then we can also edit the filter. You can remove the filter. You can apply to worksheets. So for quarters, what do I want? Let us select this and see. Only for, so now these are the entire list of quarters that are being shown over here. If I want, I can deselect all and select only specific quarters that will show up over here on the screen. So I'm selecting only the 4th quarter after the years 2014 to 15. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. So what am I saying here is, again, I have created a worksheet which has these set of tables, which are measures. I have selected a dimension over here, that is a quarter. And then thereafter, I introduced that particular quarter or that particular dimension as a filter over here. After creating that filter, I selected the choicest quarters for the fourth quarter across the years 2014 and 2021. And then I plotted this graph or this bar chart, as we can see. So this is what I have done. Now what I'm doing is, let us quickly save this. I'll rename this here. Sheet 2. Right click on this. Left click on sheet 2 first. Right click on that. Scroll up and select rename. Q4. Metro cities in India. So that's a file name that I have selected. And then let us say that is a sheet name that I have given. I'll now save this file. Again, noticeably, when I click on dashboard 1, you can see here the second sheet also. And the first sheet is anyways out. Again, why am I doing this? Because I want you all to, now you can see, the more the number of sheets we are creating, the more relevant set of options are getting activated. But we'll come to this a little later. Please bear with me. Some patience. And right, so I'll click on file here. Save as. What are we saying? We're going to save this as Indian cities housing price index is HBI. I click save. So that's the file name that we get here, Indian cities HBI. And now let us rename the dashboard also. So I right click on this, rename it as what? Metro cities dashboard. So after this is done, let us see if we have file has been saved correctly. Yes, we can see the file has been saved correctly. And we have what? We have the two. We have a PowerPoint presentation, a PNG file format, an export format. An export is in what? Microsoft Access's database. Finally, we have the file name that we have saved. So with these points in mind, what next can we, or what next should we be doing now? Well, right now will be on the machine. So fine, let us drop the sheets here. So fine, I'm going to drop the sheet here. Like, okay, that is one thing. And now there is a small problem. It's a big sheet. So what I'll do is I'll try to adjust it. It's not here though. And let us also come here and drag the second sheet out. So now this is a small problem that we generally come across. You have to adjust your sheets accordingly, because if you want to fit in the two different sheets, then it will have its own specific challenges. So, but then what we've done is we have added both the sheets here. Okay, so don't worry about the other things. Now, what next do I want to do with the dashboard? I click on dashboard. I select device layouts. We can add desktop, we can add tablet. So these are the different layouts that are applicable. And then what do we see? We can also see the grid. So let's click on show grid. So this is the grid. You can see in the background, the turquoise color bridges have come up. Grid has come up. Then let us not show it. And on the grid options, once you select the grids, then it will ask you for grid options. So I click on that. And it will tell you what is the grid pixel size you want. Now 20px is the standard. Suppose if I reduce it to 10px, then what? Again, that the size reduces, as you can see here. If I make it what? 30, then this increases, the size increases. But anyway, so this is how it looks like. So what next? Let's click on dashboard again. Format. You can format the given dashboard. So let's select format. Yeah, now when you select the format, it tells you what is the default shading, dashboard shading. The default is what? No fills or none of them. You can also change the shading here from this color. Also, you can make it this color. So when I'm making the changes to this color, you can see here that these colors in the backgrounds are also changing. If I make this That's the light aqua. So dark one, that's what? Some kind of a, let us take some different color, blue ones. Yes, you can see here the background is also changing. So the dashboard shading is changing. Dashboard title you can change. The font is what? This is the Tableau book format. If you want, you can change this title, a font, to Vadana. So when we see here, this will become Vadana. And then you can select the alignment. It's left aligned. You can make it automatic. Also make it right aligned. Of course, there's no change happening there, but you retain the left shading. We don't want any shading. So we are not selecting any shadings. The border, we are not selecting any borders either. If you want, you can select any of these. And these are the worksheet titles. So these are the worksheet titles that we have here. Out here, these books. Yeah, these are the worksheet titles. If you want, we can change them also. Now we can see here, when we select the changes in the fonts out here on the dashboard, the changes that we are seeing, the same thing is also reflected for the various, the format fonts, or the changing in the or the formatting feature is reflected even in the worksheets. We were looking for those changes in dashboard. We are also able to see the same in worksheets out here.